Now let's take a look at section 7.1. The first part, 7.1, I'm really only going to do one example because you have seen and done systems of equations many times. Systems of two equations, so this one is not a new surprise one. The next one's not really new either, it's just a little harder, section 7.2. But let's look and focus on a word problem from systems of two equations. Okay. Please bear with me and write down this problem so then we can take it apart and figure out how to get the info we need and use it. Is selling 50 condos. One bedroom condos sell for $120,000. Two bedroom condos sell for $150,000. Total sales so far, I shouldn't say so far. Total sales are $7,050,000. How many of each type were sold? Okay, I'm going to let you finish getting all that down, and then we'll tear it apart and get the information that we need out of it. So, you have one-bedroom condos, two-bedroom condos. These prices right now seem ridiculous. 20 years ago, they were really good prices. I wish I'd bought one then, because now I'd be selling them for $400,000 instead of 100 something. But I actually had someone recommend that to me when I was, in my early 20s, and I so wish I had done that. But, oh well. So we know that they cost that much, they cost that much. There's 50 of them total, and the total sales of that. So first thing you want to do is determine variables. So an x and a y. So what makes the most sense, because we're trying to find out how many of them, well, let's say how many are the one bedrooms and how many are the two bedrooms. Let's make x the number of one bedroom condos, and y will be the number of two bedroom condos. So we know a few things. We know that there's a total of 50. That's when you get a total like that, that's a little clue for you. You can just add up the amounts. So however many there are one-bedroom ones, plus however many there are two-bedroom ones, is going to be a total of 50. Now our job is to find out how many of each. Is it 49 of one and 1 of the other, 40 of one and 10 of another, 0 of one and 50 of the other? We just know it's going to add up to 50. We also know that when these sold, people paid this much for each one, and they paid this much for each one of those, and the total amount of money was that. So this times 120,000, like let's say there were 10 of these times that, would have given you 1,200,000. So you just would have multiplied it by 10. Well, we don't know that it's that, but we do know that it's 120. Now, I'm going to stop for a second. There's lots of zeros here. Zeros and zeros and zeros. So instead of writing all those zeros out, I'm just not going to use the thousands right now. And I'm going to say 120, 150, and 7,050. And at the end, I'll put those zeros back in. Makes for a much easier problem if we just take those out for now. So I'm going to say $120, or 120, it's understood right now that's 120,000 of the one bedrooms, plus, oops, I started putting a 2 for some reason, 150 thousand for each of the one-bedroom ones, and the total sales was this 7,550,000, but we'll just do the part without the 1,000. Now I have two equations. Now it's just simply an elimination or a substitution, whatever way you prefer doing it. It's just personal preference. I prefer elimination, so I'll do that. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to multiply the whole thing, every number, by 120 so I can get rid of the x's. So if I multiply that one by 120, I get 120x. Multiply that one by 120, I get 120y. Multiply that by 120, I get 6,000. So I just multiplied that times 120. And now I can subtract 120 of those minus 120 of those, they're gone. 150 minus 120 gives me 30 of those. And here, subtract that, and you get 10, 5, 0. Zeros cancel, divide by 3, and y is 35. Well, it didn't matter that I used thousands and not thousands, which is a lot easier without all the zeros, but it just told me there were 35 of the two-bedroom condos sold. And if there's 35 of those sold, well, back up here, that's 35, and if that's 35, that means there's only 15 left, so it's 15 of the x's. So it's 35 two-bedroom condos and 15 one-bedroom condos. That's your answer. You see how we figured it out is you got to look at that info and figure out what should be an x and what should be a y. And usually it's based on what you're being asked. Okay, so you're looking for that. And then making equations is always helpful if there's a total, because it's great when you just do x plus y. That makes it easy to do this, this part where you multiply by one. And when there's money involved or something like that, then usually it's a coefficient times it, how much for each one, and adding those up will give you the total amount of money. So that's how you want to think about this type of a question. Okay. There's other similar type ones in the book, but they all, whether they're money or not, they all break down to this idea of set up the variables, look at the information to make a couple of the equations and play with it and what makes sense, common sense with that, and then solve it with elimination or substitution.